Hey, it's good to see you. I'm glad you made it back. Pull up a chair. This is Wonder and Wander. Before we get going into tonight, I just wanted to check in. Not the polite version that you get at work, though. Not the one where you respond with, "Fine, how are you?" I want the real version. How are you actually doing? We got plenty of time. There's no rush. Okay. Yeah. I got a question for you. What's been on your mind lately? What's the thing that's been quietly following you around? Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to describe. You don't have to have words for it yet. Just noticing is enough. Okay, yeah. I hear you. Well, let's sit with some of that tonight. I was sitting here before you came in and just watching the fire. I kept thinking the world feels pretty heavy right now. You know what I mean? Like genuinely heavy. Not just busy. Heavy. I'll be honest with you. I'm someone who tends to hold things in. I don't always talk about how I'm doing. My family, they were kind of the quiet type. I think a lot of guys are wired the same way. We learn to handle things quietly and privately without really asking for help. Without really letting it show. Somewhere along the way, though, most of us picked up this idea that strength means silence. That being a man means keeping it all together. Means dealing with it on your own. And maybe that's what you saw when you grew up. Maybe it was never even said out loud. It was kind of like the air that you breathed. So we keep moving. We end up carrying a lot. Got responsibilities, expectations, regret, disappointment, fears we don't always have words for. Sometimes we don't even really notice how heavy it's gotten until we can barely move. I want to ask you something. I want you to actually sit with it. What have you been carrying lately? Yeah, that's tough stuff. Yeah, I figured. Thanks for sharing. I know it's hard to be vulnerable. There's a kind of exhaustion that sleep doesn't fix. You know what I mean? It's not really about being tired. It's about the exhaustion that comes from trying to be strong for everyone else. Holding back the things you were taught not to say. Saying, "I'm fine" so many times you stopped noticing it wasn't true. Carrying stories you never got to tell. It all comes out sideways. As irritability, as numbness, as a low hum of restlessness you can't quite name. I've talked to a lot of guys who say they feel like they're only allowed 3 emotions. Happy, sad, or mad. Yeah, that's it. Just 3 for their entire life. And when that's all you've got, you end up feeling like a stranger in your own skin. Here's a question I want to sit with. When was the last time that you felt truly rested? Okay, so it's been a while. For most guys, the guys that I've talked to, they can't even really answer the question. Sometimes it takes quite a while for them to actually remember. And that's not weakness. That's what happens when you've been running on empty for so long. This isn't just a guy thing either, though. It's a human thing. We're all carrying things. For guys, we've never really felt like we've had permission to put down the weight. You know what I keep coming back to when I look at this fire? Power. Fire is powerful. Like genuinely transformative. It's one of the things that actually changed what it means to be a human. It gave us safety, warm food, protection from the cold. But more than any of that, it gave us a reason to gather, to sit together, like we're doing tonight, to tell stories in the dark, to wrestle with the questions of our humanity. The fire creates space for that. But here's the other thing about fire. It can be hoarded. It can be used to keep people out instead of bringing them in. Fire was never really meant for one person, though. It was meant for the community. It's the same with us. We were never meant to be alone. We were meant for connection. We're meant to walk together, sit together, and carry things together. I want to ask you something, and I really want you to be honest, even if it's just inside yourself. If you could set something down tonight, what would that be? I want you to picture it in your mind. Like actually picture placing it right here, this spot, right by the fire. You don't have to fix that. You don't have to solve it, and you don't have to explain it. Just let it rest there for a moment. Sometimes the first act of strength is admitting that something is heavy. Before we close tonight, I want to say something directly to you. And I really mean this. You're not weak for feeling the weight. You're not broken for being tired. You're not failing because life feels hard. You're human. And being human leaves its mark. It takes its toll on us. One last question before we go. What do you need more of right now? Yeah. Hold on to that. That answer matters to you. I think it's important that you remember it as we go. All right. If you look there, our fire's getting low. It's time for us to wrap it up tonight. Carry what you need and leave what you don't. You don't have to have it all figured out. None of us do. Myself included. It's been good to be with you again. Glad we were able to do this. Let's do it again soon, alright? Okay, I'll see you next time. Safe travels. That's all for today. Wonder and Wander is written and hosted by me, Mat Wuebben. Original music composed and performed by Calvin Armerding. If this episode meant something to you, think of one man who needs to hear it, and send it to him. And if you haven't yet, leaving a rating on Apple Podcasts helps more men find their way to the fire. New episodes every Wednesday. Wander boldly, wander freely.